What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Laugh and Be Blessed with your hosts, Jake and Chia Rubel.
Hey.
So, I know it's been a while, and that's fine. I mean, anyone who listens to this podcast understands and knows that we're not the best at anything. And the thing that we're probably not the best at is keeping track and scheduling things. So, yeah. Which, you know, isn't always good. But the thing is, like, we schedule the things we have to. We go to work most of the time. Chia called in today. But I'm just saying that, like, most of the time we do. But it's not that we don't want to do the podcast. It's just that, you know, Chia's at work or I'm on the road and just things come up. But I gave you a bonus podcast. You're welcome. I mean, I did record it on my watch, which made me feel like a cool spy. But other than that, it was fine. So we're happy to be here. Hopefully we have some new listeners because, let's be honest, my Facebook just blew up. What happened?
Quite a bit.
That was insane. I went from like 1,000 followers to I'm at like 30,000 followers now.
That's crazy.
So all those blessed ones who've been riding with us since the beginning, I feel like we just like hit
a milestone.
Yeah. What's the thing? Like we're plateaued? Is that a thing? Like where you like get to the top? Like I'm not at the top, but like the thing where you like you know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like whenever you like reach like if you're climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
You know, and then you like reach like a specific. It's like, okay, well, we made it to this next level. We still got a whole mountain up there.
Yeah.
But like, let's set
whatever
up
that's
camp.
called. That's what happened.
Yeah. I want to say plateaued. But
no, you don't.
Plateaued? I don't want to say it. Actually, okay. So what I said's not a thing. How do you say that word?
Plateaued. Oh,
see, that's a weird word.
Plateaued.
Like, okay, look, we're plowing toads. We're plowing toads. Regardless, thank you everybody who's been riding with us this whole time. Big things just recently happened that are going to just continue to be big. So thank you so much for supporting our career, and it's just going to keep being awesome. So thank you so much. We'll talk about that stuff in a little bit. Actually, you know what? The cat just climbed in here.
Yeah.
There's a cat just climbed right out of the closet. He just found a hole and then went right through it. We can get into like what's been going on as far as shows I've been on and upcoming shows. Let's start with some shows that I've been on. Last we talked, I was in Springfield, Michigan with Dusty, which was so much fun. I talked about that already, so, you know, just calm down. Go back and listen to it if you didn't hear it. And then I left, I think I left on like Wednesday, on the like April 6th Wednesday. Me and AJ Wilkerson, we left here and went up to Cleveland, Ohio, and we stayed in Arriva. And I don't know if we've talked about Arriva.
I don't think we have.
So I'm going to talk about Arriva is luxury lodging. Yeah. That's what it is. It's not a hotel. It's not an Airbnb. It's luxury lodging. It's where you stay in like the nicest places. And they really hook it up for
It's almost like they're nice apartments that you can stay in, but it's kind of set up Airbnb style where you don't have to go into a front desk or check in with anyone. It's all through email. You get a code. You have a code on your door. You have a code to get your key, and that's how that works.
Yeah.
So it's like
go ahead.
Contactless check-in.
Yeah, I know that they hate the words like hotel or Airbnb. Like they just don't, and they should. Because they're just like...
They're apartments.
Exactly. Yeah. It is luxury lodging. It is next generation lodging. Like, that's what they do. And they're awesome. They're not everywhere yet, but they're popping up in different cities all over the place. So if you need a place to stay, I highly recommend checking out Arriva. Arriva. It's spelled Air Riva, but it's called Arriva. So there's something in my throat. I don't like it there. So, we stayed in Cleveland. We had a show in Buffalo, like Niagara County. So up by Niagara Falls, we had a show there. When did that show? It was fine. It was our first college gig because AJ booked like so many college gigs. Is there any way you could get me a beverage?
There's one behind you.
You're so dope. Oh, you're so great and wonderful.
you can reach it.
Yeah. So, you want to just talk for a second while I drink
I don't have anything to talk about. We're talking about you.
Okay, so, yeah, anyways, I could totally edit that, but no. So, yeah, we were in, it was like the university, like Niagara County College or something like that. I don't know. But AJ booked like 40 colleges, and he is having me open for him on all of them, or at least the majority of them. I'm pretty sure it's all of them. And that was the first one, and then we went back to Cleveland, and then the next day we went to University of Pitt Bradford and did another show. That was fun.
That's in Pennsylvania?
Yep, it was in Pennsylvania. It's like northern Pennsylvania. We had a lot of fun there. They were so nice. Both colleges were crazy nice, but we had a lot of fun at that one. And then we went back to Cleveland, and we stayed for like 3 days, just kind of relaxing. We've been on the road a lot, so we just kind of like relaxed, stayed there for a couple more days. And then Monday, we woke up and we drove from Cleveland, Ohio to New York City. And we drove straight to the airport.
So Monday morning, I woke up and got some things together, packed up the kids' clothes and everything, and I took them to school. Then I went to my mother-in-law's, dropped off our stuff, and she got in the car with me, and she took me up to Indianapolis Airport, and I got on a plane. And I went to Washington, D.C., and got on another plane and met my husband at LaGuardia Airport in New York City.
So when was the last time you flew?
I haven't flown since I was 15. My very first time flying ever was pre-9/11. And then there were quite a couple of changes after 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, my very first flight ever, when we came out of the gate,
Alice.
My cousin was picking us up, and he was there at the gate waiting for us. After 9/11, you couldn't do that anymore, but he did come into like baggage claim and everything else. This was very different.
Right.
I've never had to take my shoes off before.
Ever?
No.
You've never taken shoes off?
No, I have never taken my shoes off.
You wear your shoes in the shower?
No. At the airport. I've never had to take my shoes off.
Breaking news.
And then the mask thing, which I just missed. The mask.
Like with like a week.
Mandate going away. So I had to wear it all through the airport and on the plane, which it was fine. I'm used to it at work. But it was really nice. I was super nervous because first I was like, what if I miss my flight? What if I do something wrong? And then once I got on the plane, I was better, but I was still a little nervous about takeoff. After takeoff on that first flight, I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed the second. I enjoyed the first one better because it was longer. And I got to read so much. The second one, I was like, man, I just need like another hour on this plane.
That's crazy to me because I hate takeoff, and I don't like the entire time I'm in the air. I just don't like it because I'm just like, this is not natural.
It's not. It's weird.
I should not be up here. So I almost feel like it's us just like spitting in the face of God. We're just like, you tore down Tower of Babel, but look at us now, Lord. Like, we're going to fly right up in your face.
Oh.
So I don't like flying. But I'm to the point now, because I put 2,000 miles, I got 2,000 road miles that week.
On the Jeep?
More of on me. Like, I don't care about the Jeep as much. I'm trading that in. I can't really trade me in. You could, but I'm not. But, yeah, so it was, like, the whole drive from, hey, get out of there.
Just put them outside. I'll put them outside.
All right. So the whole drive from, we have a cat that is...
Oh, no.
Yeah, just being very destructive right now. We only have one cat. We're a dog family. But Jasmine wanted a cat. We have one cat, and the people that live beside us, or used to live, they died and went into a nursing home. So somebody else has that property.
One died, went into a nursing home. Yeah. It's not like they died and then went to a nursing home.
That's not where you put them? I thought it was just like, we'll just put them in there until we figure out what's going on. But they tore down the mobile home that was over there.
And it had been sitting for a long time without anyone living in it.
So now, since that happened, and like we live on 11 acres, but like that's one of the closest houses to us, all those mice ran right over here. So the cat's like, all right, do whatever you want. But now he's like, I do what I want. You want me to catch them mice? I'm going to eat these cookies. So anyways, driving from Cleveland to New York was fantastic. Pennsylvania is one of the most beautiful states, and no one ever talks about how pretty it is. I love driving through Pennsylvania, but then, like, a lot of New York's really great too. But then, like, getting into I was so nervous about driving in New York City.
Yeah.
And it was fine. It sucked, but, like, it wasn't, like... But I didn't have to drive, like, downtown. That was insane.
Like in Manhattan,
yeah, so we picked Chi up at the airport. We go to our Airbnb in New Jersey. Not there very long, basically. We're just there for, like, 2 hours maybe? And then got dressed and took an Uber to the train station. Took 2 trains into the city from where we were at, and then
got to Penn Station.
Got to Penn Station, and that was Chia's first time in New York. So it's only my second time, but I've done it. It's whatever. But we so as soon as we like got out on the streets, like we went straight for Times Square because it was at night, and that's whenever it's all lit up and everything. What did you like? How do you feel about it?
It was very cool.
Yeah.
Being there at night. Which we'll get into day versus night in a little bit, but Times Square at night with all of the, I don't even know what you call.
Well, they're like
billboards.
Yeah, like what are they called?
Megatrons, or
I feel like that's what they're called, but also I feel like that is a transformer.
That's Metatron. No, it's not. That's the voice of God.
Yes.
Megatron. Oh, what are they? A Jumbotron.
Jumbotron.
There we go.
If they're really big, they could be mega.
But having them like all lit up and all the ads out and everything, there was one building that was completely covered in Fantastic Beast advertisements. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I like New York a lot.
It was packed with people.
Oh yeah, but I like that because like no one notices me.
Yeah.
So I kind of dig it.
See, I thought I stuck out like a sore thumb.
Nah, no one even knew that you were there. It was totally fine.
I hope not, but...
No. But it was great. And then we had to get on another train. So we're like there. We got something to eat, hung out for a little bit, and then we got on another train to take us to the club because me and AJ was doing the Stand Comedy Club. It was the first club.
We got on the subway.
It's a train. I mean, it is what it is. But it was our first time going to a club in New York, so I was really excited about it. And then we somehow got on the wrong subway. AJ says that it missed our station, but I'm pretty sure we just got on the wrong one because it went the completely wrong way.
Yeah.
And we ended up in Brooklyn.
Yeah. At like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was about 9:30, 9:45 because the show was at 10.
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure out, finally got off in Brooklyn, was trying to figure out, like, we went up to the streets and was just like, okay, I don't know what to do. So I just ordered us an Uber. The Uber came and picked us up. And I was going to tell him, like, hey, I'll give you a tip if you can get us there by 10. No need to do that because Uber drivers in New York are wild, son.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. Like, he was all over the place. And there's, like, no... Like, at one point, AJ's like, so the lanes here are just suggestions, huh? And I was like, yeah, they're not real.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're all over the place. So we ended up getting to the club. Ari Shaffir was on the lineup. I think Dan Soder was there. Big J was there. Emma Willman was there. So it was just like, oh, dude, this is like a New York lineup.
And
this
what was
is
the
dope.
club called?
The Stand.
The Stand.
And we were up last because it was kind of like, I guess almost like an audition for us for the most part because we'd never been there before. So we went up last and we both had like super good sets.
Jake
and
crushed it.
Thank you.
Completely.
It was really, really fun. And it was cool because like we were the last ones that went up, and which means like Ari went up and all these other people had went up. So it's like, these people have been doing this for a long time. They have a name for themselves. And then we both went up and did really good to where, like, after the show, people were coming up to us and talking to us and asking us, like, where can I find you guys? So if the dude who asked where to listen to this podcast is listening to this right now, what's up, family? That was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Because we were standing outside and this guy came up and was just talking to me. You remember it better than me. How'd he say it?
So he was talking to you and... somehow we got on the subject of the Grateful Dead.
Imagine that.
And he said, oh, I'm part of the family. Now, in any other context, that sounds creepy. You're like the Manson family? What do you mean? But what that's in reference to or what that means
is that he was a member of the Merry Pranksters family.
Yes.
So he was like, I'm a member of the family, and I was like, I'm a twanger, and he was just like, what? And then we like hugged real big, and Chia was like, what is happening?
He always finds a deadhead, always.
Yeah, they find me, baby.
No, you gravitate towards each other.
Yeah, you know that's right. So if he's listening, what's up, bro? And then the club told us that they want us to come back this summer and do our 2-man show. Mm-hmm. So we were past there. That was so much fun. And then we just, like, the next day, so we go back. We went and got, like, pizza super late at night.
We had got pizza before.
Yeah.
So this is already my second slice of New York pizza at a different place.
Yeah, because I was trying to find, like, really good pizza.
Yeah, and it was all good.
Yeah, it was all good, but we didn't find the one I was looking for.
I know.
And I can't remember the name of it.
Well, we didn't go to Grand Central, and it was over there.
Yeah, it's, like, right outside of Grand Central. So
your mom said it was in Grand Central.
It might be, but I feel like I had to go out. So I think it's in the same, like, building. Like, you have to go out the doors and then go around or something.
If Grand Central is anything like Penn Station, they're almost like mini malls.
Yeah.
I had no idea. No, the subway isn't. But I mean, it had more options than an airport. It was crazy. All the vendors and stuff.
Yeah, there's like convenience stores there, restaurants and everything.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I had no idea.
I love it so hard. I love New York.
Yeah.
I mean, since the first day that I went, I was like, oh, I love this city so much.
Yeah.
I don't think I could live there. But
I definitely could not.
But
live
I
there.
love like vacationing there, like going and visiting it. So we got pizza, and then I just went ahead and Ubered us back because I was like, I don't really feel like messing with a train.
Well, we would have had to run and get there on time and everything because it was pretty late. It was after 1.
Yeah, and the trains only run to a certain time to where we were going in Jersey. So we ended up I just Ubered us back, and then we wake up the next day, and I have all these messages from people.
Oh, yeah.
And turns out there was a shooting in Brooklyn on the subway that we were on. Like, it was like where we were at.
But it was the next morning.
It was like, the next morning. So luckily that wasn't us. We weren't there. Hopefully, I don't think anyone was killed.
No.
I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure everybody lived. So, and then they got the guy. So,
he turned himself in.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for him. I mean, bad. I don't know. Like, how do I feel?
I don't know either.
It's like, good job? Good job, bad guy? Like, I don't know what to say to that. Good job, bad guy. So then we went back into the city, and we just, like, took a day of just walking around the city, seeing all we wanted to go. We didn't see everything. We wanted to go to Grand Central Station because Chia and AJ had never seen it either. So wanted to go there, and we didn't end up making it there. We went to Midtown Comics, which I've always wanted to go to. We bought some comic books, because what up? And then we got bagels. Okay, so we went to...
Okay, I was going to say, are you not going to talk about the first thing we did?
Oh, so AJ said that we had to go eat at Liberty Bagels, and he was right. That was, like, the best bagel I've ever had.
You're like, okay, it's a bagel. You can get it at a store. You go in there, and there's all these bagel sandwiches, such a huge variety of bagels. So,
and cream cheeses. And
oh my gosh, tons of cream. Now, I'm very basic. I got a blueberry bagel.
With strawberry
cream cheese. For one, the bagels are huge. They're so big that they always cut them in half.
Which I made fun of you for that. I was just like, are you serious? We can get that at home.
Yeah.
And then I got a salmon bagel because I'm proper. Hey, what's up, birthday boy? What do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast right now.
Roman's in here. It's his birthday.
Everybody say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I don't know if they said it, dude. This could be 2 years from now.
What do you need?
What's up?
I was going to say something, but never mind.
No, go ahead. Say it.
It's kind of a dirty joke.
Oh, no.
Oh, get out. Just because you're double digits now. What'd I tell you? Gotta quit doing those. No drug jokes, no dirty jokes. Knock it off.
I don't want them, and she's fine with that.
What?
Who?
You.
Me.
I told Mom one, and she was fine.
All right, go on.
I don't remember which one it was.
So, anyways,
I probably was. So.
I got mine was like salmon with
avocado
and like dill cream cheese.
Yeah,
it was just okay.
It was okay, yeah.
But then, because I wasn't sure what to get, and AJ wasn't either, when we both wanted these 2 sandwiches, so I got that one, and then AJ got... Man, your Dr. Peppers make me burp so bad.
Sorry.
I'm 37 Dr. Peppers. The other bagel that we wanted was called The Works, and it was like sausage, bacon, hash brown, and egg and cheese. So he got that. I got the salmon. They were cut in half, so then we just like did half and half.
Yeah.
The Works was way better, but I tried Chia's. Oh my gosh!
It was
How can you
so
take?
good.
I don't understand it. How could you take just a normal? You know what they say it is, honestly, the water. They say that the water in New York City is different than everywhere else in the world, and that is why the dough is so much. That's why the bagels are great, and that's why the pizza's great. It's because the dough is different. So it has to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you're making me want one right now.
Man, we got bagels this week. There was a bagel shop right outside of our hotel, and we went and got bagels there. They were okay.
Yeah.
Not as great. But anyway, so everybody that listens, we love food. Come on. So then we just walked around. We went to Times Square again, checked that out. We went to we went to the Memorial Mall, 9/11 Memorial Mall, which is wild.
Which, Google it. The way it looks inside and out is the architecture is amazing.
It's insane.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It was, but yeah, that was great. And
that's where we found clean bathrooms, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, clean bathrooms there if you need them. That's where you go.
Well, it took so the reason why we didn't hit everywhere is your first time in New York. Be prepared to figure out how to navigate some things. So we did not go where we wanted to go at first. We were I wanted to see the pools, the Ground Zero, World Trade Center. So Jake put it in. There is multiple World Trade Center museums.
Yeah.
So it took us to one of those. So we're like, so then we went and we got back on the subway and we ended up at the World Trade Center Mall, which the subway goes right into that. Like when you get out of the train, and you're walking
It's literally the last stop.
Yeah, it's the last stop. You walk up this ramp, and it was one of the original ramps of the towers.
Yeah.
So then we go into this mall. We're like, great. We find a bathroom. We sit down for a minute because we've been trying to figure things out. And then we head out of the building and go to the pools. They were roped off that day. We're not entirely sure why, but we're wondering if it had something to do with what was going on in Brooklyn.
I feel like it probably did.
So I got to see them, but I didn't get to walk up to them. You could kind of see the plaques around the pools, and you could tell there was names etched in there, but I couldn't go up and read the names. So I got to stand there a minute and honor all those people who, tragically lost their lives that day. And then my next stop was going to be the Statue of Liberty.
I still don't know if I believe everything. There's no possible way it shuts down at 3:30.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well, maybe it was just earlier that day or something.
I don't know.
So we start heading to the Statue of Liberty, and we're kind of meandering around because the other thing we want to do is get a real New York hot dog. And we keep going to all these food trucks, and they're all shut down. And we're like, what in the world? Which I have a theory, and if anyone knows New York, tell me if I'm right. I have a theory that they shut down and they move closer to like Times Square because that's where it's going to be busier at that time of day.
I would assume so.
Because there's no way they're ready to shut down for the day when they could be making so much more money if they were closer to Times Square. So we ended up stopping at one food truck. We got hot dogs. Not a traditional hot dog vendor, I don't think.
Yeah, the hot dogs were not good at all. They were burnt.
Yeah, so we thought, well, we'll try to get one later, but we sit on a bench, and Jake's looking up.
Sit on a bench.
Jake's looking up the ferry times, and we had missed the ferry. It was like after 4 by this time, and the ferry had stopped running at 3:30 to go out to Liberty Island. So I got to again see the Statue of Liberty, but it was from far away. I didn't go there. That was kind of a bummer. That's a big bucket list item for me.
The way you said bucket, I thought you said something totally different. I was like, dang,
no, that's a different list. That's well, you know what? Just bucket.
Yeah, bucket. Yeah, I mean, I felt bad that because we didn't get to go to the Statue of Liberty last time I was there either. So this time I was like, oh, cool, we're actually going to be able to go and I can check it out. But yeah, it was literally the same thing. I think next time we
go, we might not leave our Airbnb or hotel wherever we're staying too much earlier, but maybe a little earlier, and then we'll know, okay, we're going to go to Liberty Bagel, and then we're going to hit up these places.
Also, maybe if we're in Jersey, maybe just take the ferry from Jersey.
That's true.
And then just go straight from there.
We got to research it a little bit more. If anyone knows the best routes to take, let us know.
Yeah, you can reach us at jakeandchia@gmail.com, or the easiest way is to just go to Jake and Chia Rubles Blessed Ones on Facebook and just post a comment there in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so...
We're definitely going to go back.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm going back this summer. I mean, I might be going back sooner than that to Jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. I'm supposed to go back for the Stash Bash, I think. But I don't know for sure if it's just AJ or if it's me and AJ. Yeah. But either way.
Wasn't it open to the public?
I mean, probably, but there's probably tickets. I don't know what the deal is.
You're probably right. But after that, we took the subway back downtown and got to go back to Times Square at night. Now, New York during the day is absolutely beautiful. Times Square is the best at night. Mm-hmm. But everywhere else in Manhattan, it's very, very pretty. It gets a little grittier at night, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, way better than it used to be, though.
Yeah.
It used to be you couldn't go to Times Square.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a pandemic.
I'm just saying. Like, it was bad.
One thing I learned about New York is, I guess the way they structured the city, and once my mother-in-law told me this before I went, so I kind of paid attention. She's right. There's no alleyways.
Right.
All the buildings...
There's some, but it depends on where you're at.
Right. All the buildings are like bumped up against each other. All these like little restaurants are like little nooks in the wall and stuff. So these people have nowhere to put their trash at the end of the business day. Mm-hmm. So they have to pile it on the street. And because of the crowds and there's, little shops, like vendors and stuff set up on the street, they can't have dumpsters or even bins. So they're just trash bags or piles of boxes on the street. Yeah. So that was a little crazy.
And it's funny because you say that like I'm such a garbage human. I didn't even notice.
Oh, I noticed
until you were just like, what's up with all this trash? And I was just like, oh yeah, look at that. Huh. No wonder I'm comfortable.
It's not like that because I don't know at what point, but at some point the trash trucks come around, they gather all of it.
Yeah, but we ate pizza again.
Yep, and this was the best piece.
That one was good.
Don't ask where we got it.
Well, we went to Joe's the night before. It's like Joe's Pizza or something the night before. Yeah, I can't remember what this place was, but it was really good. Mm-hmm. And the cheese pizza. You got to go with the cheese pizza. Mm-hmm. I think that's where I messed up on the first couple, is that we got pepperoni pizza, which is still good, but the cheese pizza is what you got to get.
Yes.
I don't know why I did that.
You just went very Italian.
I went very Italian. The cheese pizza is what you got to get. So then the next day, so we go back to the Airbnb. The next day, we check out. We drive to Red Bank, New Jersey. In 17 years in the making, we finally got to go to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Oh, it was so amazing.
It was fantastic.
It was so great. Just not only is it a great comic book store, but the memorabilia all over the place.
If you love Kevin Smith, you're gonna.
It's fantastic. The merchandise. I don't buy a lot of clothes. If I see a hoodie or something for $50, I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna get that $45 shirt.
Yeah, we both got like 2 T-shirts, 2 hoodies. Like we were just like, we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this.
And the best part about being there
is that as soon as we walk in, so like we come up to it. And AJ's already been there before because he's in Clerks 3. So, like, we walk up to it, and we're kind of, like, fanning out, like, oh, this is amazing. And then we walk through the door, and as soon as we walk in, we look to our left, and Mike Zapsik is working behind the counter from Comic Book Men.
From Comic Book Men, and he also has a podcast called We Sell Comics.
I Sell Comics, I think.
Is that I Sell?
I think it's just I Sell Comics.
Oh, with him and Ming.
Yeah. So AJ walks in. Mike's kind of looking at him like, I know this guy from somewhere. And then AJ walked up to him and is like, hey, man, AJ, I was in the movie. And he's like, oh, yeah, what's up, dude? So, like, they talked and he introduced us. Was like, yeah, this is my friend Jake. He's now Jay's opener on the road. He opens for me and Jay on the road.
You're right. It is I Sell.
I thought so.
I just want to make sure.
And so Mike was like super nice to us. We got to take a picture with him and stuff and just talk with him.
Oh, he's such a nice guy.
So exactly what you want him to be.
Yeah.
Just so nice. Mm-hmm. And whenever we were done there, we went over to a place called, what was that place called? The pork rolls.
Oh,
Taylor something?
No, because it was Taylor Hams before.
Right, but it's Joe. It was like Joe's pork rolls or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was that was like so the way they do it, it's like, and I guess this is a Jersey thing. It's not spam, but it predates spam, but it's kind of, it gives you like that impression. But it's like spam, egg, and cheese. on like a bagel, basically. And dude, it is so good. It is amazing. Mm-hmm. So, and then we went to the Quick Stop, where Clerks was filmed. So we got to see the Quick Stop and Smod Castle. We didn't go in the Smod Castle, but we went in the Quick Stop, hung out with the owner for a little bit and met him. Was there for a while, bought a little CBD while there, because, you know, why am I not going to? What's it called? That weird. Yeah, why am I not? It's Snoogans. I got the Jane Silent Bob Presents Snoogans by Caviar Gold. So that was pretty cool. It's all right. I didn't hate it, but it was just all right.
Red Bank was nice because it had a very Bloomington feel.
Yeah, it felt a lot like the town that's closest to us. So it was nice. I did like it a lot.
It
wasn't a college town, but it
gives you that vibe, kind of hipster
vibe.
A little bit. Yeah, so speaking of getting the Snoogans CBD, I hopefully by the end of this year will have my own strain of CBD. Woo! So was just talking to a company not too long ago, and they're working on that. So anybody, and those of you that are like, CBD, come on, what are you doing? You have a joke that said that CBD does nothing for you. Well, that's a joke. It does stuff for me. One person said, because I used to be a big pothead, and now I just smoke CBD because I can't smoke weed anymore because it does things to my head because of too many drugs. And somebody was like, so basically CBD is like Suboxone for potheads. I was like, yeah, basically that's what's happening here. But for those of you that don't just smoke CBD and you're like, what a waste of time, that's fine. I'm also going to have my own strain of weed. So, booyah, that's happening. So, and still trying to get that NA. You know, still trying to get that non-alcoholic beer. That's how I'm rolling. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm doing it. There's a lot of us sober people out there that don't have...
you said where we got that, didn't you?
Yeah, at the Quick Stop. Yeah. There's a lot of sober people out there that's just like, hey, man, where's my cool stuff? And I'm showing you, hey, we can have cool stuff, too.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Going to the Quick Stop was very surreal.
It was weird, right?
It was crazy.
It was weird. It was like... It was just like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
where it all started.
Yeah, it was so wild, dude.
And it's still it is still
exactly
operated as a Quick Stop. Like,
people were
you go in there and it's a normal convenience store. I did notice something. Apparently you can't pump your own gas in Jersey. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of gas station convenience stores, which where we're from, those go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You don't see one without the other usually.
Right.
So that was very weird.
But it made sense why there's a Quick Stop.
Yeah.
Because it's not a gas station. It's a convenience store.
Yeah.
So, because here we don't have a lot of convenience stores.
I mean, we do, but they're paired with a gas station.
That's what I'm saying.
They're just not by themselves.
But you just call it a gas station.
Yeah,
it's like I'm just going to go to the gas station. So, yeah, that was kind of wild. But, so we come back home. We were home for a few days, and then Monday, me and AJ left. We went to Nashville, Tennessee. I was a very small part of the Nashville Comedy Festival. Super honored to do it. It's my first time being a part of any kind of festival. I was supposed to be in a festival before COVID, but all that, obviously. But I'm happy that happened because now I get my first festival I've done is like one of the biggest ones. Like Nashville Comedy Festival's big.
Yeah.
And it was so cool, man. Like I did New Material Monday. And the thing is, like before New Material Monday, the Nateland podcast was recording a live podcast in there. So then like Nate Bargatze's there, Aaron Weber, Mike Vicchione is there, Brian Bates is there, like the whole Nateland crew's there. And then afterwards is New Material Monday. I go up first, so the host goes up, then I go up, and then Nate Bargatze goes up.
That's crazy.
Like right after me.
Yeah.
I was just like, I technically just opened for him.
Yeah.
even though it's New Material Monday. So like he goes up, and then Dusty Slay goes, and Nate's nephew, 15-year-old nephew, did a couple minutes.
Awesome.
So that was pretty cool. Then Dusty Slay goes up, then Brian Bates, then Aaron Weber. It was like all these people are going up, and then AJ closed the show out. He did great, and then afterwards, like
I was gonna say, where'd you go afterwards?
So afterwards, they were like, "Are you guys coming to the after party?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure. We don't have anything to do. Where's it at?" And they're like, "Oh, it's at Kid Rock's bar." So we're like, "Cool, see you there." So we went back to the hotel, got an Ubered to the bar because I was not going to try to find parking down there.
Yeah.
And we had artist badges. So, and the cool thing is, like, as I'm walking up to the bar, the owner of Zany's, his brother Like, I don't know if they're like part owners or partners or exactly what the deal is, but they it's like the Zanies and Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama, which I also love that club. But his brother was standing outside the club and seen us and like waved us over, talked with us a little bit. That guy's everybody there's so nice. Mm-hmm. But he was great, and he explained to us where to go. So we go in, and this is like, I don't know how many levels Kid Rock's bar is, but it's multiple levels.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's at least 3, maybe 4 levels.
Oh, wow.
And there's like a bar on each level, like a party going on each one.
Jeez.
Each floor. So we were on the second floor. We go in, security's like, hold on a second. And I'm like, bam, artist badge. And he's like, come on in. And I'm like, what up?
It's a private party, right?
Because it's a private party. So we go in, like, Steve Byrne is on the stage singing karaoke. I look over, like, Shane Gillis is there. Like, everybody's there. John Chris is there. Like, everybody's there.
Everybody meaning who else was there?
What do you mean?
Whose bar was it?
Well, Kid Rock was there. Yeah, Kid Rock was there. Zach Brown Band was there. Marcus King Band was there. Like, it was insane. Mm-hmm. And we're just, like, in it. People are coming up, talking to us, hanging out. And we're there for like 45 minutes. And they're like, all right, it's shutting down. And they kick us out.
At like 12:30.
Yeah. I'm like, what's happening?
What kind of after party is
just
this?
That party. The other floors were still open. It was just, I don't know if something happened.
Kid
I don't
Rock's
know what
like,
happened.
I gotta go to bed.
So I think he was on the first floor by this time. So we go outside. Everybody kind of disperses, but like me, AJ, and then one other person that's like a manager for a company or like a pretty big management company. He was like, let's go to another bar. So we go to another bar, and we hang out there for just a little bit, and then we end up heading back. And then the next day, Mike Vicchione is recording his special at Zanies. Mm-hmm. So he's got 2 like sold-out shows. So we're like, well, we're just going to go there and hang out. Like, we have nothing else to do. So we just go hang out at the club. And it's like, again, everybody's there. Like, we were leaving the hotel, and as we're like, when we got back from Kid Rock's, Big J was just there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, we just seen him in New York. This is wild.
Yeah.
And then the next day,
all going in the same circles now.
Yeah. And the next day, like, we're leaving, and as we're about to leave, Ari Shafir and I always say his name wrong. Saul Volcano.
Oh, yeah.
From Impractical Jokers. Yeah. They show up. And kind of like, and Ari, of course, had just seen us at the other show. We were hanging out in the green room with him, so he kind of gave us a nod, and I was like, what's up? And then, so we leave, we go hang out at the club, everybody's there. Nate Bargatze is doing, it's like his first time like directing a special, so he's running around like crazy, like, and he did such a great job. Everybody did fantastic there. I can't wait to see the special. He killed it. I'd never even seen his comedy. I'm going to be 100%. I don't watch a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but unless I'm there at the show, I don't watch it. So there's a lot of people I just don't even know, and which is funny sometimes because I meet someone and people are like, dude, do you know who that was? And I'm like, no. And they're like, that. You don't know who that was? I'm like, no idea. And it's like a big name, and I'm like, whatever. Maybe that's why they are cool with me, is because I'm never like fanning out. I'm just like, whatevs. Cool. It's a human. I don't know. So, but that night I almost nerded out. Yeah. Because we're all standing in a circle talking, and then all of a sudden this dude walks up to the circle and starts giving us all nucks, and he's like, gang, gang, what up, baby? And I'm like, that's Theo Vaughn. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Keep it cool, bro. Keep it cool. Don't let the Rat King see you lose it. Keep it cool. And so he just kind of like walked through our circle, said what's up to all of us, and then he went and did his thing. And then he came back out a little bit later before he was leaving and just kind of like stepped in the circle and just hung out with us for a minute, which I thought was so cool because like he looked at us, and Aaron Weber was there, and Aaron's not like a new comic. Like Aaron is like, he's about to be at Helium in Indianapolis. So if anyone listening is around the area, go see Aaron Weber. He's so funny, such a nice guy. I love hanging out with him. But like, so Aaron's there, and there's a couple other people there's a few, but the majority of us are like new comics. And he made a point to just like stand in our circle and hang out with us for a second. I just thought that was dope. So, yeah, that was a great night. Like, it was super fun. And then I came home, and then that's where I've been. 40 minutes into the podcast, we literally just talked about where we had to catch you up, guys.
And that wasn't even everything, but that was enough.
Yeah, what I miss.
Well, I guess you didn't. Maybe not.
I don't know. Who knows? All right. Well, here's where I'm going to be.
Mark your calendars. Jake could be coming to a town near you.
I don't know when you're listening to this, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I have a show tomorrow night, which is April 23rd. I'm going to be in Avon, Ohio at Railroad Brewing Company with Ricky Glore and Chris Weir. That's going to be a fun show. I think the show starts at 9 p.m. Tickets are $10 pre-sale, $15 at the door. So if you're anywhere around like Cleveland, anywhere up around that area, definitely come out and say what's up. So, again, that is April 23rd, Avon, Ohio. Then on, let's see here. I'm going to be on May 3rd. I'm going to be in Atlanta at Best in Pontoon Brewing with AJ Wilkerson. I'm going to be featuring for AJ down there. So if you're around the Atlanta area, come out. It says 3rd and 4th, so I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what the time is. I should probably figure that out. But anyways, you could probably figure that out if you go to Best End Brewing in Atlanta and check that out. We're going to be there. And then on the 6th and 7th, I'm supposed to be possibly going back to New Jersey for the Stash Bash. I don't know exactly what's happening with that, but to be whatever. And then I'm going to be opening for my buddy Johnny W., who is extremely funny. If you don't know Johnny W., definitely check him out. He's a Nashville comic. I love this guy. He's awesome. I'm going to be with him in Northern Indiana at... let's see. I should probably have this off the top of my head, but I do not have it off the top of my head. So let me just go ahead and just act like I'm not just pulling it up and pretend like, oh, I know what's going on here. It's taken me a long time to find it. How about that? It's, at this point, I feel like it's been... Okay, Napanee, Indiana. It's at the Round Barn Theater.
I could have told you that because I was literally... sharing that post.
Oh yeah, I just see that. Yeah.
I was putting I was typing something in. So I wasn't really paying attention to you.
That's totally fine. So May 13th, Napanee, Indiana, at the Round Barn Theater. I will be opening for Johnny W. One night only, and then I will be at Tippy's. I don't know. Tippy's.
Tippero?
It's in Winamac, Indiana. So I'll be co-headlining that. That's going to be a super fun show. So Tippy's and Winamac on May 14th. And then on May 19th, I will be in Midland, Michigan at I believe it's the same place I was last time, which should be the Midland Arts, right? Midland Center for Arts. You're going with me to that, right?
I don't know yet.
Okay, hopefully you are.
My schedule hasn't came out yet.
We had a good time, and I wanted to go to that game store with you again.
Yeah.
So Midland, Michigan at the Midland Center for the Arts on May 19th. May 20th and 21st, I will be at Stable Studios in Spencer, Indiana for the Merry Pranksters Family Reunion. I do not know if this is open to the public yet. I know that last year they did eventually open it to the public and sell some tickets. I don't know what it is right now, but I can tell you this. This is the show that I'm one of the most excited about for the entire year.
I am going to that.
She is going with me. We're going to be camping the whole weekend. It is going to be so much fun. And the great thing is, too, is like John Welton from John Welton and the Awakening messaged me and asked me to help him with some stuff.
Oh, nice.
So like
I get
to hang out with John. Yeah, he wants to do like a comedy skit with like a jug band.
Oh, nice.
Where there's like a jug band on stage and like one of the things is
You're giving it all away.
I know, but anyways.
He wants to do a skit.
He wants to do a skit. Okay. Yeah,
I'm like, geez, Jake.
That's
if
my
they
girl.
open it up.
That's my girl. So, and then let's see, what else do I have coming up? I think that's all for May. Yeah, that's all for May. So any of those shows, I would love to see you guys.
We'll put out another podcast for June. Don't worry, I promise.
We'll see what happens. So, yeah, now let's get into Chia's favorite part.
Yes. Okay. I really, really enjoy it when you say where you're at in the reading goal first.
I know you do. So you want me to start it?
I want you to start it.
All right, I'll start it. You should have said something though, because I didn't have it pulled up yet.
Get your Goodreads out.
So we're gonna do what we've read first, and then we talk about what we're reading. That's what we usually do,
yes.
right? Okay.
You gotta remind them of what your goal is, where you're at in your goal, and then what you're currently reading.
Okay, so my goal is 40 books this year.
Okay.
And I'm at 20 of 40. So I'm halfway there.
Good.
So I'm 8 books ahead of schedule.
Okay.
Again, hats off to Goodreads.
Yes,
stop smiling like that. Stop smiling like that.
For keeping us on track.
I think the only 2 books I've really read, I know, I've only read 2 books this whole time. The only 2 books I've finished since the last time we recorded was, I think, Running the Light. I don't think I've talked about Running the Light yet, which is a book by Sam Talent, which is really great. It's about like a road comic that's like in his later days, and just kind of, it's a really good like fictional story about being a road comic, which was really good for me because the cool thing is a lot of the rooms he's talking about in the book, I'm like, oh, I've worked that room.
Oh, nice.
And that's exactly the way I felt about it too.
Yeah.
And then, drum roll please, I finished The Shining.
Oh, about time.
I know. It took me so long, but I finally finished The Shining, and I'm going to say the same thing about it that I do all Stephen King books. The ending, so good.
Yeah.
However, this is like one of the firsts for me. The movie, better.
Oh, wow.
I don't care what anybody says. I like the movie better.
Yeah.
I feel like the book, the only thing about the book is that they didn't tackle in the movie that I kind of wish they would have, is that he's got problems before they go to the hotel.
Okay.
So like he's got anger problems. He's they talk about how he's like a recovering alcoholic. He doesn't drink anymore and stuff like that in the movie. But like they really dig into it. Like he was abusive on accident to his son while drinking, and that's why he stopped. And the book really hammers that stuff home, so it's almost like the hotel like amplifies his biggest fears, like the things he's already got in him. The hotel kind of like pulls that out and makes it so much worse.
Right.
And I will say this, I did like the ending of this book better. Spoiler alert, because I know most people are not going to read this probably. Skip ahead. I'm about to spoil the very end of the book. Is that okay with you?
That's okay with me.
Okay. So Halloran, you remember the guy that's like the cook that also has The Shining in the movie?
Yeah.
Remember how he shows up and like as soon as he gets there, Jack kills him?
Yeah.
Like the moment he walks in, he gets like the axe to his chest, basically. Yeah. He survives and rescues the wife and son.
Oh,
I really
that
like
would have been
that.
way better.
That's what I thought. I did like that a lot. So,
Yeah.
It's like mixed emotions. I just felt like it was drawn out too much. There was so much stuff that I could have done without. Stephen King books would be so much better if they were half as long.
Yeah.
Like whoever is editing these books, what are you doing? Like you could just are you scared to tell him to get rid of some of the stuff?
It's worked for him though.
That's the thing. Some people I think really like it, but
Yeah.
for me, I'm just like, I don't need all of this extra stuff. Get rid of it. But yeah, it's not my favorite Stephen King book I've ever read. Obviously, it took me the longest time. I think my favorite Stephen King book still to this day is Tommyknockers. I love that. Salem's Lot's really good. So
I'll be reading that sometime this year.
So that's what I've read. Tell me what you've read, and then we'll talk about what we're reading.
Okay. So my goal for the year was 20. I think last time we spoke with everyone, I was at like 17 or 18. I said, by next week, I'm going to be at my goal. Just so you know, I had surpassed my goal by the next week. We didn't talk to you all, though.
Yeah.
But I had.
You had.
I had. So now my goal is 20. I'm at 28 books.
28 books. She's 8 books ahead of me.
I am 22 books ahead of schedule. I'm at 140% of my
That is
reading
wild.
goal.
That is wild.
So the books I finished, I don't know if I talked about Homegoing.
I think, yeah, you did.
Yes, I did, because I remember butchering the name.
Yeah.
Okay, so since then I've read 4 Lexi Ryan books.
Yeah. Saucy.
They're, which 3 out of the 4 I had previously read, but a new book had came out in the series, so I had to reread this series.
Now, do you think, and I'm not saying this because I read graphic novels, so I'm not saying this to be like, you didn't read a lot, but do you feel like those are, what's it called whenever it's like a small book? Like it's called like a...
They're not. They're over 300 pages.
The Lexi Ryan books are?
Yeah, because remember we looked it up because on my ebooks it says like they're 600 and something, and then we looked up what the paperback would be, and they're all over.
See, that's wild because I thought that those books were like novelettes.
Oh, I did too because of the pace I read them. But I stay up way longer than I should, and
it's
I'm
wild.
like, I can't put it down. What's gonna happen?
That's cool.
And then I read Lord of the Dark Sun by Stoby Piel.
Sure.
Pile.
Hey.
It's Piel. Anyways, so this was a romance book that a friend had let me borrow. It wasn't as spicy, but it's like a sci-fi fantasy, and it was really good. Like, I read it, and I was like, I want to see this movie.
Yeah, that's
done the right way.
That's one that, like, you were explaining to me. I was like, I might read that.
Yeah.
It's a little, I don't know. Like, the whole spicy aspect of the things is what
Why?
I'm like, I don't know, dude.
You can see people being spicy on TV.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's not as graphic usually on TV,
right.
but
I don't know what it is.
Unless, you're choosing certain movies.
Yeah.
That are like 10 minutes. But, and then another one.
Movies.
Another one, same friend, my friend Katie let me borrow, was Tainted by Temptation by Katie Madison. This one was very good. Again, it's a romance. It's got some spice in it. But it's got a creepy, like, ghosty story in it. That's really good. It's kind of a mystery. So I enjoyed that. The next was Magician's Impossible by Brad Abraham. It was really good.
Not a spicy book.
Not a spicy book. Nope. So there you go. I do read books that aren't spicy.
Yeah. Seems like here lately you've been really getting into them, though.
Oh, well, you just wait.
Uh-huh.
Magician's Impossible. It's about people who are magi's versus... I think the Magi, are the natural-born magicians versus people who learn to be magicians. And
gotcha.
It's this whole world, and there's a good twist where you're like, oh, who you thought was good is bad, and who you thought was bad is good, and a mix of all that.
You don't know what's good for bad.
Right. The last two books I've read are by Scarlett St. Clair. The first one is A Touch of Darkness. The second is A Touch of Ruin. And I'm currently reading A Touch of Malice, which is the third book in the series.
You love these books.
Oh my gosh. This is about Hades and Persephone. So one of my friends who also likes spicy books, she let me borrow them. Since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with Greek mythology. When the Disney movie Hercules came out, I don't know how old I was, like 9, 10, something like that. And I remember being like, no.
Yeah.
That's not how that goes.
Yeah.
What do you mean Hades hates the underworld? Hades loves the underworld. Hera and Zeus do not like each other. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the movie still because it's got some good songs.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember as a kid, like, I had very strong feelings about that. Obviously, you can't put the real stuff in a Disney movie.
Right.
But these books, they're a retelling of Hades and Persephone, and they're so good, and like my level of spice. I've learned that I am not as spicy as I thought, thanks to Book Talk.
Book Talk is people talking about books on TikTok.
Yes, but there's like Book Talk, but then there's like spicy Book Talk,
right.
which I have, of course, stumbled onto. There's some things that I didn't know people were into that were possible that
everybody's got their own thing.
Like highly spicy, and I don't think I could read those. I like enemies to lovers, soulmates types of things.
Yeah, you like romantic things. Because you didn't even like 50 Shades of Grey.
I've never read 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
I do want to read it because at the time I thought I wouldn't like that. But from watching, I have watched one of the movies, which I think it was like the last movie in the series. My feelings towards that, and everyone's going to tell me I'm wrong. I know. I've heard the spiel about how she makes him better and everything. I get it. That's why I want to read it. But I feel like I don't like it when the men in my books are...
arrogant pricks.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they can be to other people, but not to her. And the fact that See, now I'm contradicting myself because I was getting ready to say the fact that they enter it as a contract, which Hades and Persephone got together through a contract, but it wasn't a sexual contract.
Oh, yeah.
This is in 50 Shades of Grey. So I don't know. So other than that, I still haven't finished the last Harry Potter book. I will eventually. I finished it before, so. And then there's someone else all over just regular book talk. His name's A.P. Beswick. I'm reading A Forest of Vanity
Oh, did
and
you
Velour.
start that one?
I read a few pages of it, but from what I read, I do enjoy it. This is a retelling of Robin Hood, and he has a couple books out now that are retelling of
Like Loch Ness
British and
Santa Claus.
Irish folklore. Yeah,
there's a
Santa
lot of
Claus,
them.
and then the other one was Blackbeard, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to read that, and then I did forget to tell you this. So one of my friends, so I've kind of...
Oh, I'm reading a book right now that I didn't tell you about, and I
Okay.
specifically held off
This
until...
is called Webtoon. It is a graphic novel app, and I was telling her about the Hades and Persephone book, and she said, oh, well, you would probably enjoy this. And so now I'm reading a graphic novel about Hades and Persephone.
No, that's cool, though.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm currently reading, I'll start with the things that I've been reading. So, obviously, I've been reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
Finish the last book.
So, I've been reading that for a while. I put it down for a good time, and now...
for a good time.
Good time. Put it down for one good time. But I'm reading it right now, and I like it a lot. Like, I'm finally kind of into it. So, I've been reading it quite a bit. So, I'm reading that book, about halfway through with that one. I'm reading The Colorado Kid, which is by Stephen King. I know, I'll never learn my lesson. It's a different kind of book.
You obviously enjoy the books, or you want to pick them
I do.
up.
Well, the thing is I do enjoy them. It's just like it's like rough sex. It's like I like it, but why? I'm not saying I like it. Wait a second. I know that sounded weird.
I'm like, do you need to read smut books? Do you need spicy books to unlock this kink of yours?
I meant people.
It's okay, baby.
I mean, people like it. Anyways, The Colorado Kid is not your normal Stephen King book. It's like a mystery. It's like a pop, like back in the day, like pop mysteries where you could like buy a book for like 35 cents or whatever,
nice.
like a trash novel. I shouldn't call it a trash novel, but it's a novel that you could just read, not care about the cover, and then whenever it's done,
I like
it's done.
that. So like whenever I go to a bookstore, it's like you when you go to a record store or something, like I'm on a hunt. Like I'm like, I have a piece of collection where you will literally go and you have grabbed a book off the shelf and bought it.
Yeah. I'll just randomly grab books. I love it. And that's actually what happened with this. I was just like, this is weird. I'm about halfway through with that one as well. It's a smaller Stephen King book. It's boring. It is. I'm sorry. It's boring me. I'm reading, what's that comic book that I got? What's that graphic novel called that I got? I got it at Midtown Comics, Strangers in Paradise.
Oh, okay.
Started reading that. I like it a lot. So here's why I like Strangers in Paradise is because the lead characters are female. Mm-hmm. And I typically don't read
Female
books like
leads,
that. Yeah. And it's usually just because, like, I like to read something to where I can put myself in that position. And, you know, it just helps my imagination whenever I read something where, like, there's a male as the lead character. Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying it, though. I think it's really cool, and I like that. I like the fact that it's, like, forcing me to, like, look at the perspective from somebody else. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool. So I'm reading that. I'm also reading... What else did I have? I had another book that I was reading. Is it behind me? I can't remember exactly what it was.
We have books all over this room.
It's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is out of
We
control.
have 3 bookshelves. One is completely covered with books. Another is completely covered with board games, and the other has like a hodgepodge of both.
Yeah.
But all like our tables are everywhere, and we have bookshelves in the house or in the living room.
I'm reading the Lovecraft Compendium.
Oh, that's right, because you bought that box set.
Yeah, I found a box set at Ollie's.
It's such a good box set. It's really cool.
It's like
Where's that at?
It's in that.
Get it.
It's in the bag. We didn't talk about that either. We got to do some game stuff. Yeah, I bought it at Ollie's.
This book, it's just so cool. So
it's called the horror. What is it called? The Great Horror and Fantasy
Collection.
Yeah.
So it comes with a journal. Did you realize that?
Nope.
It comes with a journal.
That's cool.
He's got the Lovecraft
Compendium,
and then Classic Tales of Horror by Edgar Allan Poe, Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Edgar Allan who?
Edgar Allan Poe.
It sounded like you said Poe.
Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe, the stripper.
Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So I've read Dracula. We've talked about it on here. I have got to read all these books. I've got to read. So they just went on my to be read list.
Yeah. Well, that's half the reason I picked them up is because I was like, oh, well, I want to read some Lovecraft, but the rest of them, like, I think I've read Dracula.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. The Turn of the Screw, Henry James. The Woman in White, Wilkie Collins, and Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Yeah. This is like such a dynamite set. Did you pay the sticker price?
I paid $10 for that.
Shut up.
I got it
so
for $10.
It says $59.99. You paid $10 for this?
I tell you all the time, Ollie's is amazing.
I went to Ollie's with you. And
I go to different Ollie's. That was an Ollie's I think I got that in Cleveland.
And like the artwork on these, the cover art
it's really
is so
cool.
nice.
Yeah, it's a great box set. So I'm reading that, but the book that I'm the most excited about that I just started reading last night. So when we were in Nashville, and the cool thing is like I finally found a hobby that AJ's into because like he'll go to comic book stores with me, and that's kind of cool. And he likes looking around, and he's trying to like get these books for the Incredible Hulk. And like he's into that. He'll go to board game stores. He's kind of into that. He wants to get into board games more, but like there's just like he's not like into something. He usually just kind of like walks around with me and talks with me and stuff. Bookstores.
Yeah.
He's into it.
Oh, yeah.
He's so excited about it. Like, we go to bookstores. So we went to McKay's, which I have to take you to McKay's in Nashville. It's insane. It's 2 stores.
Just let me be lost in there.
So it's out of control. But we were there, and I bought some Forgotten Realms, which is like Dungeons and Dragons type books. I bought a couple of those just because I would like to get into that. I've never really read them, but I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if I like Lord of the Rings, why wouldn't I like this stuff? So I've read one of them before, and it was just okay. So I'm hoping that these will be better. But I got a book that is called Princess of Mars.
Okay.
What do you think that is?
I don't know because I think of Ghost of Mars.
Nope.
Oh.
What's another Mars movie?
I don't know.
John Carter.
Oh.
So this is the original. And it's a very old book. So this book was printed in like the early 1900s or something like that. Is when these stories came out.
Wow.
Same guy, Edgar Rice Burroughs. Same guy who wrote like a lot of the Tarzan books back in the day. So I just started reading it last night. It's very like old timey.
Dime Star books. Is that what you were thinking?
That's my girl.
There
That's
you
why
go.
I'm in love with you. Give me some. That's what I'm talking about. So I started reading it last night, and I'm really into it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So I like it a lot. And it's a very quick read. It's a very small dime store book. Very small, quick. It fits in my back pocket.
Oh,
which
I love those.
I love that.
I love those.
Yeah.
A lot of I like a lot of the smaller paperback, which the books I'm reading now, they're paperback, but they're not that small. But I like the smaller ones because you know what they can fit into? My scrub pockets.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So, like, I can be reading, and if a patient, like, needs something, I will walk to their room reading, put my bookmark in, stick it in my scrubs, and go in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm reading right now, but I have a stack of books to get through. So
jeez, no, it's
people
insane.
Don't get it. People don't get
oh my
it.
God, like it
so
gets
bad.
worse because every time someone lets me borrow a book readers, we understand you could have a book forever, and if it's something we've already read, that's fine. However, I feel guilt. I'm like, I've got to give this book back to him. I have one more book of Katie's to read, and I was gonna read that, but then Kayla gave me this trilogy, so I'm on that book. I hope to finish it in the next week or so. Give those back to her. Read the one from Katie. Then I've got to get to my. I wrote a to be read list.
Yeah.
That had like.
And it's buried under books.
I had no idea where I put it, but it had like 14 books on it and then like 6 free spaces.
Yeah.
So I could just pick a random one. And I know I've read at least 7 of them because it was those Among the Hidden Books.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I didn't
I don't
put
know.
it in anything else.
Well, see,
what's this notebook over
and
here?
that's what's happening with me is that I keep buying these. I'll find these really cool books, and I'm like, I have like this long list of books to read. But I'm like, but I just bought this and it looks really cool. I want to read this one.
With books, there are 3 different hobbies. There's book buying. That's a hobby. There's book collecting. Because you could buy books and give them away. But we like to hoard them here. And then there is book reading.
Yeah.
So I really have 3 hobbies. It just all involve books.
Yeah. So that's why we've been reading. I'm going to jump into the game segment real quick. I don't have a lot to talk about, but there's one wild thing that I have to get into.
What games are we playing?
So, going to game stores, as everybody knows, is one of my favorite things to do. I love going to board game stores. When we were in Cleveland, we went to a few of them. The first one that we went to was like a very established, I don't know if it was a chain store, but it had the vibes of it. So I was like, ugh, I don't know, man. Like, I like mom and pop places where I can like talk shop with them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just wasn't really set up like that. But I did buy a Harry Potter deck building game, so we've been wanting that for a long time, so I bought that. But like, I talk about this on the show sometimes that like for me, collecting it's an addiction. It helps me stay off drugs. So there's certain things that I'm always like chasing the high. A while back it was like I wanted Legendary Predator so bad, and I love the Legendary games, but like the Legendary Encounters Predator, that was like the game I was hunting for. When I found it, it was just like, oh, amazing. And here lately, like the new game that I kind of felt like that was Legendary Big Trouble in Little China, because I want to like get all the Legendary games. So I've been kind of on the hunt for that. Not an easy game to find. You can get it on Amazon, but who cares? Like, what's the fun in that? Yeah. I like finding it out in the wild. So we left that store. And then I was like, all right, well, there's another store that we could go to that's just down the road. We went there. It was so weird. It was in the basement of like what felt like an abandoned apartment complex, and it was in the very basement. They were very nice there.
The very basement.
The very bottom basement of the top bottom of the floors. And it was weird. So we didn't get anything there. And then we went to another place that was... like back up towards, and I'm not going to say the name of it. And me and AJ recorded a podcast. We've not released it yet, but we talk about this on there. But I've got to talk about this with you. I'm not going to say the name of the place. It's going to be really hard for me not to. But we go to this place. We pull in, and it's on the way to the hotel. So I'm like, this is fine. Not hotel, sorry. On the way to the Arriva. And we pull in, and remember whenever me and you were in Memphis and we went to that restaurant, and it's like we pulled in and we were like, what?
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
I felt like that.
Oh, God, I want that food.
Me too. I really want Brother Juniper's grits.
I do too. Let's go back.
Okay, that's fine. I'll book a show in Memphis.
Okay.
There we go. I'll reach out to my manager and say, hey, put me in Memphis. I promise I will tomorrow.
Okay.
So, literally just for grits in that barbecue.
Oh, we better be able to find it again.
We will. Anyways, so...
I think it was one of the ones on
Triple
D.
It was, for sure. So we pull in, and like the windows are boarded up. It looks abandoned. It looks like an old abandoned liquor store is what it looks like. So brick building, very strange. And I was like, all right, well, we might as well like go in. So we open the door, and I swear, I'm not making this up. We open the door, and like you can't see anything because there are board games stacked from floor to ceiling everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere. Like, it is wild. There's no way of me explaining this. And then a dude just like pokes his head out around the corner of a stack, and he was just like, hey, what's up, guys? And I swear I smelled him before I saw him. I'm not making this up. The dude was wearing coveralls. Like, he had clothes on, like flannels and stuff, and then was wearing coveralls with like a toboggan, and it's not cold outside.
Yeah.
And I could smell the dude before I saw him. It was, and I'm a hippie.
Yeah.
And I smelled that cat and was just like, I was like, dang, dude. So
patchouli.
It was rough, but he was very nice. So he was just like, hey guys, what brings you in? And I was just like, oh, we're just checking it out. And he's like, well, what are you looking for? Because you can't browse this place.
Yeah.
There's no browsing, really. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like, there's, like, bookshelves back to back full of board games. Then on top of the bookshelves, there's board games. But then stacked in front of the bookshelves are board games to the ceiling.
Wow.
Like, you just have to, like, move stuff around. And he was like, well, what are you into? And I was like, well, I like the legendary games. I was kind of looking for, like, maybe some legendary games. And he's like, yeah, the owner probably knows more about that. And he just, like, looks over my shoulder. And there's, like, there was, like, a display case behind me that had, like, a bunch of, like, Magic the Gathering and stuff like that in it. But then on top of that display case, again, from the display case all the way up to the ceiling was stacks of board games. So he kind of like leans over me and he's like, do you know where those would be? And a voice from behind there was like, yeah, aisle 2. And I'm like, section. He said section 2. I was like, what? So like I look and then there's a space in between stacks of games, a little space, and you can see the guy sitting in a chair behind there, and that's the register.
Wow.
It was wild. So we followed. So the guy starts walking. Doesn't say, like, come with me. He just starts walking. And I'm like, I guess we follow? So, like, we follow him down this hallway. There's hardly any lights in this place. It's very dark. Very, very dark in this place. And very dusty. And, like, it's so gross. But I loved it because of how many games were in this place. I was cool with that.
Yeah.
So we, like, follow him. He goes down this hallway. He turns right. We turn right with him, and then he ducks in this little side room, but I don't see him duck in it. So I, like, keep walking, because I can't see him, because, the stacks of games. So we keep walking, and then it's like, all of a sudden, there's a big open room, again, full of stuff, but, like, the lighting's a little different in there, and it feels like we don't belong here. So we were like, oh, hold up. So we, like, turn around, and AJ, like, leans in, he's like, there's a dog here somewhere. And I was like, what? And he goes, there's a dog here somewhere. I've seen water bowls and bones everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Like dog treat bones.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, dude, this is crazy. So the dude was in the side room, and in the side room, it was like the size of like a bathroom, But and there shelves all the way around the 3 walls, and then in the middle there was 2 or 4 bookshelves that were like pressed up against each other. But you can't see hardly anything. I'm literally stepping over games. And he's like, oh, I can't find it. I was like, well, that's cool. Do you mind if we just look around for a little bit? And he's like, yeah, that's all right. We're open for like another half hour. I was like, all right, cool.
What are you going to find in half an hour?
Right. So I'm like, dude. So I just needed him away from me so me and AJ could be like, what is happening? So I did do a quick little video and like twirl around. And I put it on my Facebook. And I think it's on my Instagram and probably TikTok. But it's just like... and that's just one small little room that I'm in. There was like 4 other rooms that were the exact same. So I'm looking around and they have every game there. They had crossbows and catapults. They had that. The original old game, they had it in there. They had every game you could ever imagine is there. So if you love board games, they have it. So it's worth going to. It's just be prepared. I was not prepared at all. I'm stepping over games, looking at other games. AJ's doing the same thing. We walk out of that little room and he like ducks his head in to check like that back weird room, and there's a dog laying on the floor and a crossbow on the table. Loaded.
Oh.
He was like, what is this? I was like, oh, this is where we die. I'm like, we're not making it out. But as soon as he seen the dog, I was like, I'm going to pet that dog. And he started laughing. He goes, I don't think that's the dog you want to pet. He was like, that's a junkyard dog in a board game store. And I was like, yeah, bet. I'm petting that dog. And I was like, who's a good boy? Come here, buddy. And he got up and walked right up to me, and I just started petting him, and I was like, that's my friend.
There's not a dog alive that you don't want to pet.
Yeah, I'm going to pet that dog. I'm going to get a shirt that just says, I'm going to pet that dog. So, but then, like, we're walking around and we're looking, and I see this, like, Post-it note that just says 2. And I'm like, well, here's section 2, probably. And what do I find on the shelf? Big Trouble in Little China, Legendary, and I bought it.
Ooh!
I overpaid for it, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I wanted it. The prices there were not great.
Yeah.
The best thing about this place is I looked up the reviews, and people gave it horrible reviews, and the owner always replies to the reviews.
Oh, nice.
And it's horrible. Like, one person was like, this is the worst place I've ever been. It is a hazard. I don't know how this place is even open. And the guy replied and was just like, won't you shut up? I never want you to come back here. You suck at... He was like, you suck at life. Like, it's just an old man who's just mad at everything. So, I got a couple games. I haven't played any of them yet, but yeah, got a few games, so... I just had to tell that story. That was just such a funny story. I had to tell it. But we're a little over an hour. Do you got anything else you want? I mean, we could talk about what we've been watching.
Real
I guess.
quick.
All right, let's get into what we're watching.
What are we watching?
All right, what are we watching?
All right. So we watched something Wednesday night that Jake's never watched, and I have. It's a horror movie.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Halloween 3.
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
Stupid name.
Stupid name. Does not belong with the Michael Myers franchise.
Right. I don't. Well, Season of the Witch, I thought was a stupid name.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole movie does not belong. I mean, you have Halloween 1 and 2, all Michael Myers. And then 4 on,
but
all Michael
Myers.
Myers.
There's a reason for it, though.
Right.
And that's because John Carpenter was sick of doing the Michael Myers movies, and he wanted to start Halloween as an anthology. The thing is, if he would have done that movie before he did Halloween 2...
If that would have been the second Halloween.
He totally... And he could have done every other movie was a Michael Myers movie.
Right.
But because he did 2 Michael Myers, then the Season of the Witch, it was like, what the hell is going on?
Which is crazy. So we watched it. And it's not a bad movie.
No, it's really not. It's like, I liked it, but I like the weird 80s horror movies.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Tom Atkins? Is that his name? Tom Atkins is so underrated. If you love Tom Selleck and you love Burt Reynolds and those, if you just love a big fellow with a mustache, you're going to love Tom Atkins. He's so great. I love him in everything that he is in.
He's great.
He's not the best actor, but
he's great.
I'm very into the fact that and he was like so sexually aggressive in this movie, but the lady,
she was all for it.
Every one of them that it happened with, they were all so into it. Jim was just like, okay.
So what's funny is Jake had a friend message him yesterday and be all like, dude, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, so underrated. And Jake was like, I just watched that last night. And he was like, I did too.
It was weird. We both watched it for the first time the same night. Very strange in different states. But yeah, it's not a bad movie. Like, give it a chance. If you like 80s horror movies, give this movie a shot. Just block out that it's a... Now, I think... Here's another thing I think they could have done. I think what they could have done is, like, there is a spot, it's like an Easter egg in the movie, where he's in a bar and they're flipping through they're flipping through the channels. The first time, though, it's like very blatant, like Halloween, where you see the original Halloween, like Michael Myers, on TV. I think what they could have done is have a news bulletin of being like, be prepared for this Halloween, and like whatever the town is, I forget
like
what town it is.
So many years ago this happened.
Or even being like last year, this.
So it's like, oh, that's not the only town where crazy stuff happens on Halloween.
Yeah, kind of like on Raising Hope, how every now and then, like, My Name is Earl, like, news articles come up. Like, it's just something like
because it's in the same universe.
Yeah, and that's the issue, is that with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, they show the movie Halloween on TV, which is like, well, this is not the same universe. So as,
like, to play tribute to it, but it didn't put it in the same universe.
It was weird to me. The way that it was set up was weird to me. So, but I really did like it. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought it was cool. I really enjoyed it. So that was fun. I feel like, what else have we watched lately? Oh, I started watching Our Flag Means Death on HBO.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh, the show's so funny. I don't want to really talk too much about it. Just go watch Our Flag Means Death. It's basically where a gentleman back in the day, very rich to-do fella, is like, I'm going to leave my wife and kids and become a pirate. And he's not good at it. It's very funny.
He's a gentleman.
If you like What We Do in the Shadows, you will love this show. It's the same guy.
Rowan wanted to watch some kind of military or Army movie
For his birthday.
today. So we found a show that he came in and out of. He didn't really care, but we got into it. It was Band of Brothers.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah,
but I've never seen it before.
No,
I've wanted to, and I feel like I actually think I have the book somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But I've just, I don't know. It's hard for me to like choose a war movie to watch unless it's like an apocalyptic movie. But like historical war movies, I don't watch very often. This really pulled me in.
It's hard for me to watch them because it's. Like I watched Pearl Harbor again not too long ago, and it's a great movie, but I'm almost like I'm getting enjoyment off something that literally happened, something tragic that literally happened.
So that's why it's hard for me to watch specific ones, but I like Band of Brothers because it's more of being like, this is real.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to know like what some of these guys went through.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I'm very lucky. I've never had to do anything like that. And so... Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I know that it's an old show. It came out in like 2002 or something like that.
We don't care.
Yeah, whatever. We just talked about Season of the Witch, so who cares? Chia watched Scream with our kids for the first time.
Oh, yeah. So Jasmine has now seen Scream 1 through 3? Yes. Yeah, and I think the younger kids watched it. Me and her watched the original Scream, and then we laid down one day when Jake took the boys to get a haircut, and we watched the first two with my mom.
Yeah. Holden even liked it.
Yeah.
Which was shocking.
Scream was great. Yeah, because they came home when we were on the third one.
Yeah. You know, when we were in Nashville, we went to another bookstore, and they had a section of VHSs, and there was Scream 1 through 3 on VHS.
Oh.
I almost bought them, but I was like, I don't have anywhere to put them. I was like, I'll
in the tote in the attic where all the others are.
They're in the shed, not in the attic. Is there one in the attic too?
About this big and this deep?
Yeah, there's one in the shed.
Okay, maybe it is out there. Maybe we moved it. I thought it was still up there.
I would not be surprised if there's two.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to mess with it. And I was like, I'll find them again.
One should have mainly the old Disney one.
So that one's probably the one that's upstairs.
Okay,
then.
with the older, like, thicker cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So, I can't think of anything else that I've watched lately. I've not really watched. I've been reading.
I've been
a lot.
watching Supernatural off and on, but yeah, I've been
same.
reading a lot.
I'm trying to catch up to you on Supernatural, and I'm not close.
What season are you on?
6 or 7.
Oh, I'm on 9.
Yeah.
My sister's on 14. She's getting ready to finish 14, and then she'll have one more left.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I'm not really watching anything. So, before we go, we do want to say thank you very much to our Patreon supporters.
Thank you.
Here's the thing with our Patreon supporters. You guys have been helping us out since the beginning, and the show has just continued to get better because of you. So thank you. I mean, you've helped us with taking care of all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But here's the main thing. I know we've been talking about it. You guys are going to be very excited. In the next couple weeks, we are going to put the down payment on our studio. We are buying a studio and having it built and brought out to us. And it's going to be like like an outdoor shed, cabin, whatever you want to call it.
Those little manufactured.
It's like a tiny
cabins,
home. Basically, we're having a tiny home built. In the back of it is going to be the studio, and the rest of it's going to be my office. And I could not have... really, like I guess I could have, but it wouldn't have been as great to do it if it wasn't for the Patreon supporters.
Yeah.
You guys have really helped us with this a lot. So thank you very much. If you want to be a Patreon supporter, it is very easy. Go to patreon.com/laughandbeblessed and just sign up there. We really do appreciate it. And here's the thing. People are like, when are you going to have video? We want to see video. We want to see you guys. As soon as the studio is done, I'm having it set up to where it will be video, so we can not just be audio on YouTube.
And there are perks to being a Patreon. Other than that, it's just they don't come very often. Recently, Jake performed in Kentucky, and one of our Patreon supporters, who's a friend of ours, came. She got on the show for free.
Now, I'm not saying you can do that every show.
No, but we will do our best for our Patreon supporters.
100%. Yep.
And she left with some merchandise.
Yep.
for free.
Yeah, you guys take care of us, we'll take care
Yeah.
of you. You know, that's the thing. As long, luckily that was my show. I wasn't like featuring or anything.
Right.
That was me and AJ's show. So it was easier for me to be like, hey, I have this person coming in.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is that Lindsay's fantastic. She's great.
Yeah.
I was so happy to finally meet her, and wish Taj was there, but whatever.
Yeah.
Next time, hopefully. And
He's a busy man.
but that's the cool thing is like the Patreon supporters are like, I mean, everybody who like is on the Facebook group is just a family now. You guys have been fantastic. All the messages that I get and everything have been great. The new people who are jumping in, thank you so much. I know that a lot of you probably found me from Facebook, so I appreciate it. All the messages you guys have been sending have been fantastic. It's very fun to get these messages. I had somebody message me the other day and said, hey man, I just went through like a really hard breakup and I was super depressed. Came across one of your stand-up videos and you completely turned my night around. I'm having fun now and laughing. Like basically you turned my crying into laughing and I really appreciate it. And so I just sent and I always message back just so everybody knows. It is me personally messaging because people don't think it's me sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just sent a message back and was just like, hey, thank you so much for allowing me to shine some light in a dark time. We're going to get through this. You're a gem to the world and I love you. And he was just like, dude, thank you so much for replying. This is amazing. We had a nice little conversation. Next day, messaged me and is like, I'm about to walk into KFC. I'm trying to get a job. I'm turning my life around. And I was like, you got the job. You got it. It's yours. And 20 minutes later, text me because I start tomorrow. We did it. And I'm like, we did it, buddy.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
But that's the thing is that, like, you know, to some people that might be stupid, but that means a lot to me that, like, somebody was going through a hard time and I could just kind of, like, jump in there and just be like, look, dude, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through it. So, always down for messages. I know this is, we didn't get into the, our mental health check-in, but we usually do that every single episode. But, you know, the thing is that I do love and appreciate all you guys. But and I don't want those of you who are on Patreon to be like, you know, does this mean anything? It means a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you are literally getting a studio for us.
Yeah.
So your money is going to that. So, that's going to be great. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to have an actual studio set up with cameras, and you guys will be able to watch us and just hang out with us. And so I love you guys. I really do appreciate it. Come to a show. Come see me. Reach out to us. Facebook at Jake and Chia Rubles Blessed Ones. Follow all my social media. I'm trying to grow my Instagram and TikTok right now. My Facebook's doing pretty good at like 30,000, but 30,000 follows, but like only like 1,000 likes. I don't know the difference, but I think Facebook is transitioning over to all follow because there's two different ways of doing it right now.
Okay.
So I think that's what the new Facebook pages is going to be, is that it's just follows. So I got like 30,000 on Facebook. I just hit 1,000 on Instagram. I'm like, what's happening here? So Instagram at Indiana Ruble, TikTok at Indiana Ruble. I think I got like 5,000 there. So let's grow up. Once you grow up with me. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I love you so much. And you know, just as you're going through this week, and if you go through a hard time, somebody breaks up with you, if some stuff's happening in your life, there's one simple step just to make things easier. Just remember,
Laugh and be blessed.